I realized I forgot to set some audio levels. Okay. Welcome back to Dark Souls. Hello Smough, hello Big Tony, hello Krista, hello Cinema Roll, and hello RM. Welcome. Um, yeah, Krista, I think the ranking is based on like per stream, how much you talk per stream rather than overall. Um, Cinema Roll, that sure is a thing that you said. Yeah, I wanted to stream Demon Souls yesterday, but I wasn't really able to. My sleep schedule is a little bit thrown off right now. Actually, I didn't get as much sleep as I would have preferred to last night, but we'll be okay. Um, Man-Serpent Greatsword, I should turn the music back on. My plan for this is to just sense clip. The requirement, I think, is 24 strength, and then from there, I can get to 27 strength and then not worry about stats anymore. If I played Dark Souls for 12 hours straight while streaming it, I would have passed out a long time ago. 12 hours is a long time. I can barely do 3 hours. I can dupe humanity to get high drop or higher drop chance, and then from there get the gold serpent ring since I'm going into Sens anyway. Yeah, we stream next week, and then I think 2 weeks of no streams again, and then after that, I have nothing planned ever again. So hopefully, actually weekly streams should come back. 2 minutes? That's so long. You missed like half the stream, Lily. This is tragic. How do you drink a melon? Do a stream with your hammer? I don't actually have that on my list because I did a video of it with Aurora a while back. But I guess I could redo the run because I am planning on using Ornstein's Spear at some point. I will absolutely not be doing heavy attack only, no thank you. I don't know, I hadn't even beaten the Asylum Demon. I think you'll be okay. I think I'll collab with Simple Flips. If Simple Flips would play... If I could... My dream with Simple Flips is teaching him how to speedrun CarQuest. If he would be willing to let me teach him how to speedrun CarQuest, you have no idea how happy that would make me. I have done Dragonbone Fist. That was actually one of my really early streams. It was... I might redo that one because I skipped like half the game. But I did do a stream of it. I don't know, I feel like if I did that again, I'd be able to do a lot better. Just because I understand how the game works now. At least better than I did. Yeah, the Man-Serpent Greatsword is one I've been wanting to use for a long time. The only time I've ever used it was during a Use What You See randomizer, because an enemy dropped it. So I used it for like half of Sen's Fortress. And that was it. Hello, Eth, welcome. If I remember correctly, the moveset is actually really similar to like the Butcher's Knife, which is an axe, as opposed to the Greatsword. Because it's the moveset is definitely not super similar to like the Claymore. But there are some. It's a weird moveset on a weapon. Is the point? You'll see. The modern Butcher's Knife. Oh, you mean like Dark Souls 3? Elden Ring Butcher's Knife? Or like... My brain took that as real life modern day Butcher's Knife. Because the Man-Serpent Greatsword is like extremely decrepit. Owie. Just a giant sword in real life that people use to cut up meat. Kind of a rectangle, yeah. Oh my goodness, Krista. I Dread the day. Zwei and crystal magic weapon. Yeah, that seems like it would be a very unexceptional, but will get you through the game build. That's how I feel about a lot of weapons that people consider bad weapons. Like the whip is that for me, you know? People say the whip is terrible or whatever, but I don't know, it's just kind of fine. Gets you through the game. The early game kind of sucks with it, but Krista, thank you so much. Oh my god, I parried. I was very distracted. I didn't think I was going to be able to parry there. Krista, congratulations, you did not kill me there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like pay attention to weapon designs other than like dramatic ones like the Greatsword or Flamberge. Anyway, thank you very much, Krista. That means a lot, like always. I still feel like you give me way too much money. Yeah, fill out your bingo square. Has anyone actually played bingo during a stream yet? Someone should. Put it in the general chat after this stream so you get to bingo. Run it through like a website that will randomize your bingo board. I think those exist. I don't know. It kind of depends on what you mean by colorful, because like Dark Souls 3 is very not colorful. Bloodborne has really, really saturated like reds and blues, but otherwise it's pretty drab. Dark Souls 1 is really colorful though, to be fair, like especially by the time you get to like Anor Londo, the Duke's Archives, Crystal Cave, you know? It's not like Dark Souls 1 is drab by any means. Demon Souls is like yellow, which I would argue is technically colorful. But yeah, Elden Ring is a lot more vibrant than most FromSoft games. You've not donated once? That would be an unfortunate day to play bingo. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is also really, really colorful. But like, I don't know, when I think Dark Souls 2, I think Hades and, oops, Ring Lake, like the castle. I'm trying to think what other areas. I also think like the gutter or whatever. But yeah, like Black Gulch is weirdly colorful, even though it's all green. You play bingo on your own accord. This isn't an official thing. Whoa. One message sent you up to straight to second place. Skipped third entirely. Burying yourself in video games is really nice when you're able to do it. Even when it's my job, I still enjoy every moment I'm playing Dark Souls 1. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is a lot of contrast. I think that's a better way to put it. There's a lot of vibrance in different colors, but they're not like I don't know, like the Dragon Aryan Shrine. Even like Aldia's is weirdly colorful. Dark Souls 3 has 3 colors. True. That's funny. No, Happle's having a good time. If a girl did this to me, I would be over the moon. Rest in peace, Havel. Good way to go, though. Hello, Unsticky. Welcome. Yeah, I have 900 hours on remastered on Steam, and then probably like 200-300 hours scattered about other versions and platforms. So I have over 1,000 hours, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of this game, you know? Like, I think there are still 40-something just melee weapons normal melee weapons that I haven't used. There's... God, what else? There's a lot that I haven't done in Dark Souls 1 that I really want to do. Lots of challenge runs. Obviously, I want to finish my mod at some point. Other people are making mods that I want to play. There are mods that are already out that I want to play. There's that one that really... What was it? Nightfall or something. Daughters of Ash I haven't played, which is also a really popular one that I want to play. And it's just like, if I can make content on that, you know, if I can get my ADHD thoughts about my favorite game ever out in the world, and get paid for it, like, absolutely. That's my favorite thing that's ever happened to me. Well, I don't know, that might be a bit of a stretch, but it's one of my favorite things that's ever happened to me. Yeah, Dark Souls 3, aka Gray. Dark Souls 2 is washed out? I heavily disagree. Havel and I playing Dark Souls 1 PvP to flirt as lesbians. True. Yeah, I don't plan on stopping playing Dark Souls 1 anytime soon, despite my amount of playtime in it. I mean, Man-Serpent's... There's kind of a Man-Serpent sword in Dark Souls 3. It's just a Kopesh, right? It's not a Greatsword, but it is cool. I don't know. I also don't like the Man-Serpents in Dark Souls 3. I think it's a Kopesh. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've looked at it. I don't pay much attention to them. The mod's gonna be cool if it ever comes out. Yeah, I think Crystal Lizards are a lot more skittish in Dark Souls, or Demon Souls, than Dark Souls 1. And Dark Souls 2, I don't know. There are a lot of instances where Crystal Lizards are just infuriating to get. There's that one that drops the large Titanite shards just before Brightstone Cove. That's extremely difficult to get because it always just runs straight off an edge. PvP mention was a reference to a giant ad that could have been today's stream. Yeah, that's 100% intentional for sure. These only 10 for drop chance. Also gonna use these souls to level up. Yeah, the requirement for one-handing is 24, so already good on using the weapon, just not like effectively. I don't know. I think the problem with Dark Souls 3 is it goes for a semi-realistic art style and then is also insanely drab. The issue isn't that, you know, it's drab. It's that it doesn't do anything with that drabness to be interesting. I think Bloodborne has a really, really interesting and unique art style, but it is also, you know, relatively drab compared to Dark Souls 1 and 2. They Crystal Lizards do respawn a little bit in Demon Souls. Each one, when you kill an archdemon, they will respawn once. That was way too low. I don't know why I did that. So killing an archdemon, or no, killing just a boss will respawn one, I think. Something like that. There is some respawn mechanics for Crystal Lizards, regardless of whether or not you killed them the first time. So like if you kill 0 Crystal Lizards through the entire area, kill a boss, and then go kill a Crystal Lizard and then reload, that Crystal Lizard will have respawned. Yeah, I've been meaning to play through Dark Souls 3 with Reshade. I just haven't gotten around to it. I think next time I do a Dark Souls 3 playthrough, I'll try that. I know I want to do a pickaxe run in Dark Souls 3. I think it'd be a fun way to do it. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is probably my favorite aesthetically as well. Has my favorite, like, armor designs especially. Oops. Oops. There we go. Will that be low enough? It will not. What about there? Oh. Hey, come on. I don't want it to go too low. Okay, that should be good, actually. Yeah, well, it's not every single Crystal Lizard. I think it's just one Crystal Lizard will respawn per boss in Demon Souls. Hello, Uludaz. Welcome. Or is it all of them that respawn? Actually, I have no idea. I don't know why I'm saying that when you probably have looked it up. Elden Ring with Reshade? Weird color overlays? I mean, I think the weird color overlays look really good most of the time, honestly. I really love how like colorful how they use color in an interesting way. Oh, before I reload. Yeah, I just don't super love how interesting looking Dark Souls 3 could have been relative. And it's not even that, because like I think the vibe of Dark Souls 3 works for the game that they were making, right? Like the story of the game makes sense with its drabness. I just kind of wish it wasn't. I don't know. My understanding of crystal laser mechanics in Demon Souls comes from the compare through that Illusory Wall did. That's kind of it. Ooh, hey, everything's fine. I also wish Dark Souls 3 was Dark Souls 2. That would be pretty cool. I am shocked I didn't get hit by that. I wasn't paying attention at all. I don't know. I think constantly being enchanted would make the pickaxe run boring. I don't know, but it being diamond would be funny. That'd be a fun gimmick. I'm not scared of reading your message. I just didn't have a response for it. Oh, 3 days until you get your paycheck. Suddenly I regret reading that because now I'm scared. No, wait. Everything's fine. I want the gold serpent ring. I've gotten a hit a lot going through here. I'm bad at this game. Now we wait. How's everyone's day been? Whoa, hey. You're not supposed to... Ah! Got jump scared. I do love Sense Fortress. I'm just bad at it. Darn, imagine if that one dropped the sword. That would have been awesome. Oh, Ornstein and Smough are both in the chat again. Yeah, I don't have any other way to restore. Yeah, okay. I'll probably be fine. Sense Fortress is my favorite level in this game, actually, by quite a wide margin. No, I also really love Blighttown, actually. Blighttown proper. I don't know. I think Sense Fortress is the most interesting level to explore, and it's not even close. But I do love exploring the whole game, right? So, I don't know. Okay. If I end up dying, I'm just gonna spawn in the Man-Serpent Greatsword, but I will attempt to get it legitimately first. Or if I kill a bunch of Man-Serpents and just don't get it, I'll happily spawn it in. I don't want to spend forever trying to farm for it. This is pretty awesome. A lot of people like Blighttown. Blighttown is a really good level. Trying to think. I've seen a lot of people say they like Blighttown, is my point. It's not like an unpopular opinion to enjoy Blighttown. It's just, oh my god. It's just like most people's experience with Blighttown who have, you know, played Dark Souls, is the PS3 version lagging horrifically, which makes Blighttown a super not fun experience, right? And that's like the zeitgeist, because once opinions start on the internet, they never change. Oh. No lighting bonfires run of Dark Souls 1? Did you warp to bonfires, or were you not allowed to warp either, because you didn't light them at all? Yeah, I imagine playing on 360 makes Blighttown pretty awful. I think if I did a run that was similar to no bonfires, I would have to do it deathless, because otherwise it's just, if you die, you're running for 5 minutes, or, you know, longer to get anywhere. Come on. Go away, please. Thank you. Imagine if I got the flame barrage, I would have cried. I don't know, I feel like the wires wouldn't really be affected by how thick the walls are. Unless you're getting satellite, in which case that's unfortunate. Or like phone service. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, yeah, try to do every run deathless. Aside from like, you know. Oh, I needed the or whatever. But like aside from the first Sith encounter, but it's like if I die, it's whatever. I'm not gonna be upset if I end up dying in Dark Souls. Okay. Weapon acquired. Very legitimately. It's heavy. I forgot. I do, however, want to go back in and grab the rest of the large titanite. Real quick. Wish Man-Serpent's real. Wish Basaka's for real. Hello, Oak. Well, congratulations on not being late. Oh, Goth, welcome. Hey, first try that time. Nice. Wait, does Koth hate Solaire? What's the lore that I'm not remembering here? What's wrong with the sun? The sun is cool. I have like half the Dark Souls 1 cast in here. All we need is Framped and we got the whole squad. Okay. After I get these, I'm gonna depths clip. Let's see what the damage is. I know the damage is like pretty decent. Yeah, for being completely unupgraded, that's not bad at all. Get Gwendolyn to show up. She's at work? Oh, unfortunate. Capitalism. If you're not reminded of your mistakes, you're just gonna keep making them. You can't hide away from your mistakes, then they'll just keep getting worse. There's something with that pressure plate rotating the lever up here. I don't know exactly how it works because I have gone over that pressure plate and I was pointing down Digmeyer's like staircase as opposed to here. So I don't know. Does that mean it's going that way? Right? Yeah, okay, so that's going down the staircase. Despite the fact that I stepped on the pressure plate, which is what rotates the lever. So does it just swap between the staircase and down the... Or the... Yeah, the two staircases? That's what I'm trying to say. I dislike the Seath boss fight, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to say that I dislike Seath anymore, because he gave me money. Good afternoon, Sandbone. Welcome. Yeah, not super great when I'm not riposting, because it's unupgraded, but that's fine. Yeah, I believe... Oh, that's a weird running attack. That's not what I was expecting at all. Rain? Hold on, it's in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've done the Flamberge before. If not, I've definitely used it in a couple modded runs, like streams. And I'm pretty sure I've done a stream with the Flamberge itself. By falling asleep every stream. Hopefully that works out well for you. Krista would know. True. Can't this one drop a large Titanite shard? I think I have enough. It's 9, right? I have enough. It doesn't matter. I want to get blasted. Cool. Yeah, I had no idea how long or what caused the lever to turn for a long time. And somebody mentioned it was the I don't even remember what the context was, but I learned it was the pressure plate. And it checks out. I'm glad I can be relaxing. Hopefully that's in a good way. Okay, gonna get this thing to a +3 real quick. Or 5, not +3. Been playing Dark Souls 2. How dare I? I actually haven't been playing Dark Souls 2. I don't know why I thought +3. Favorite non-humanoid NPC? Okay, well that means I'm not allowed to say Pisakas, because those are enemies. I don't think they would count as NPCs. Unless the non-hostile Pisakas count as NPCs. But otherwise, we shall core, for sure. If Dark Souls 1 specifically, then I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it. That is shockingly high damage. Makes it turn 180 degrees? Okay. That does make sense from what I've experienced. I don't know why. I just kind of expect it to... Wow. That's a lot of damage for a +5. I don't know why I expect it to specifically make it point toward where you're coming up from. Is this said to be the best greatsword in the game? I have no idea. I've never used it, and I've never seen anybody use it. Alvina? I don't know if I would define Alvina as freaky, but I get it. Do not have plow yourself into feeling sleepy when you hear your girlfriend's voice. Or whenever you hear girl voice. I can talk, I swear. It's my job. Girl voice in general. How hot the talking cat is, yeah. Nothing feels better than the inside of a cat. Nintendo, I don't think you're allowed to say that. But, it's a little freaky. The pitchfork video. Like, my stream VODs? Or, like, was it Backlogs who did the R2 only? No, it was Nintendo who tweeted that one, actually. It was in reference to the cat suit in Super Mario 3D World. Or was it? It might have been when Bowser's Fury released? I don't remember. Yeah, my internet kind of broke during that stream, which was really annoying. But, got through it eventually. Oh, come on. I wish I liked Salt and Sanctuary. Hey, first try. What do you know? Hope you're proud of me, Krista. Like the talking cat from Garfield? Which one? There are like 4. That I know off the top of my head. It's probably more, honestly. There's the gray annoying one. There's the pink one. There's the orange one. Probably more. My god, framed. We got the whole Dark Souls 1 cast. Thank you, Krista. The orange one. He talks in, like, certain Garfield media, like Garfield and Friends. That's what I was referring to with the several talking cats. I don't know if those are actually in the comic strips. Oh. Good. I'm gonna be a little bit careful about this. Ow. Do this. Our field cannon is very strict. Lemon as in the backlogs lemon? Come on. I know that they have done, or he's done a lot of Potent Sanctuary videos, but I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. Not remembering Garfield's name is funny a bit. Should I get Power Within? I think I should. I'm gonna get Power Within. Back on my logs till I lemon. So true. I think if I didn't pick up the sack there, and then I killed the other butcher, they would have been guaranteed to drop it because it wasn't in my inventory. I think? I'm not actually sure how that works. That's how it works with the boars. But I'm not sure if that's how that works with the butchers specifically. Pardon me. Ow. Ow. Actually. Okay, now that's fine. I was debating on whether or not to even try to not die there. There are a couple 2D Souls-likes that I've played. Like, specifically top-down ones that I've enjoyed quite a bit. Like, Death's Door, which is isometric more than top-down. But Titan Souls as well, which is very much top-down. But, like, there is a 2D Souls-like that I played that I liked a lot. But I don't remember what it was called. I'll figure it out eventually. Butcher Vanity? I have no idea what that means, but I'll go Butcher. With the knockoff Butcher's knife. No, not Hollow Knight. I barely consider Hollow Knight a Souls-like. Same. I've heard good things about Nine Souls. I haven't played it yet. People call Hollow Knight a Souls-like, therefore it is a Souls-like. That's how definitions work. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's a Souls-like Metroidvania. I mean, Dark Souls has a lot of Metroidvania elements, even. So. Alright. Put the weapon at +10, then I'll go fight the Stray Demon. Then go down to New Londo. I couldn't remember the name. I'm losing it. Oh, I'm not gonna have enough. Speaking of Souls-likes that aren't Dark Souls that I've enjoyed, Prison of Husks has a demo, if you haven't played it. It's really fun. There's a lot of really, like, interestingly hidden stuff. It's a really cool demo. Oh. It's very interesting if you haven't played it yet. Lies of P is fun. I think that Prison of Husks is more interesting in a lot of ways, which is why I mentioned it first and was thinking about it. But Lies of P is also fun. Okay. There's the one-handed requirement as well. I don't imagine myself using this thing one-handed for a while, but, you know. It might not be a bad idea to go through the depths and kill the Jesus, I can't remember anything today. The Gaping Dragon. It might be a good idea to kill the Gaping Dragon. Just for the purpose of getting Power Within a little easier. Because otherwise you have to climb up Blighttown, which is really, really annoying. And it's not like the Gaping Dragon is a particularly difficult boss. That was very unfortunate. Excuse me? Jeez. Okay. Somebody just cut off the first half of what Andre said. I was gonna drink water and then realized that I don't have my water bottle. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab that. Probably important. I have water. I shall remain hydrated. Okay. Wukong, isn't that the one who had the, like, really, really terrible developers? Or am I thinking of a different one? Oh my goodness, at +10 too? Jesus. Okay. Yeah, if you are enjoying the stream and think other people deserve to see it, or think I deserve other people to see it, please like it. It helps a lot. Don't worry, I understand how enemies move. I'm not gonna leave when I can get obliterated. Not that I've done that before. I think I have, actually. That's the funny. There are a lot of, like, Souls-likes coming out recently that aren't super great, huh? What was that one? There was another, like, Chinese mythology Souls-like, wasn't there? That came out, like, a year or two before Wukong, something like that. I played that one, and it was okay. Oh, you know, I'm gonna be able to get max scaling now. That's cool. Very, very quick 27 strength. Which is all that is required to get max scaling on this thing. Wow, a lot of them came up here. That's... Stop it! Oh my goodness. Usually it's like 2 or 3 get up here. Not half of them. Wow, you're not stuck on the ladder? That's shocking. Extremely difficult boss fight. Wolong, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I played that, and I beat it, I think. And I went to do something else in it, and I just never did it. I lost interest as soon as I finished the game. I don't think there's been a single double or triple A Souls-like, aside from the early FromSoft Souls-likes that I've adored. There are some third-party ones. Tunic, if you would consider that a Souls-like, which I definitely would in certain ways. Or like, Death's Door is incredible, and I would also consider a Souls-like. There's, again, Titan Souls, which is incredible. Thymesia is really, really good. Steel Rising was fun. Elden Balls. To this day, I think, as far as I know, I am the only person in the entire world who has finished Death's Door without rolling. And I say that because somebody who doesn't speak English did a run of Death's Door where they didn't roll. However, they rolled right at the tutorial because there's a NPC that you can't pass unless you do a rolling attack. And I found a way to get past that without rolling, and they did not, which means I'm still the only person to have beaten Death's Door without rolling. As far as I know, nobody else has even attempted to beat Titan or Tunic without rolling, which is weird because it feels very conducive to like different playstyles and challenge runs, but like nobody's done any. Anyway, yeah, Liza P is very much not Sekiro. You can stand there and parry. It is very much not the best way to play the game. It is not, rather, the most effective way to deal with every single enemy, as opposed to Sekiro, where deflecting is like the primary method of attack for 99% of enemies. I think you should do a soul level 1 playthrough of Dark Souls with the Jagged Ghost Blade. That is my vote. Titan Souls art style is really good, yeah. I love Titan Souls so much. My Titan Souls lore video, I think, is the only lore video of that game. I know the developers saw it, and they didn't intentionally go as hard into the biblical parallels that I did. I just thought the biblical parallels were really interesting, because when I was doing that lore video, I had just deconverted. So I was like seeing that really heavily, and I think it fits, right? But I do like the fact that my interpretation of the lore wasn't exactly what the developers intended. I think that's really interesting. And then my Titan Souls lore video, or my Death's Door lore video, was also very fun to do, and is one of my favorite videos. Death's Door without rolling is also one of my favorite videos, and that video has like 300 views. I'm thinking of completely redoing that video. Not re-recording the run, but like re-narrating that video, because it has my old voice, which I hate. But I think it's scripted really well and edited fairly well as well. A shield only run. I've done that. Kinda. I did bone wheel only, where I also used the bone wheel shield. Oh, I should. Yeah. There we go. Not doing soul level 1 with Jagged Ghostblade. It's fun. I made it to Bed of Chaos, which was my last of the 4 lords. I was planning on doing hyper mode on Seath and then through the DLC, but I just ended up not doing that. Really, really fun playthrough so far, shockingly. 4 Kings was a little rough. I did the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring and Ring of Fog for Anito, which made it super easy and really funny. Hello, Mats. Welcome. Framped doesn't understand toxic old man yaoi. Probably true. How could you, Framped? Sandbone, some people do play Lies of P like that, however. As a Soulsborne player who has not played Sekiro nearly as much as the other Souls games, I find it a lot more fun. Oops, wrong one. I find it a lot more fun personally to mix my entire moveset in, and it feels really good to like find what attacks you can dodge as opposed to parry, as opposed to outspace, as opposed to, you know, walk and punish. And I think it's really fun to do that as opposed to just parrying the whole time. And it also looks a lot cooler. Bow only is a pretty easy challenge run, in my opinion. I think it's really fun too. Really forces you to understand the game in a different way. Might as well put this on. Don't have any reason not to. Yeah, bow is funny. That's true. First time you legitimately beat Menace. I think bow only Menace is really fun, especially when you like randomly get headshots. But yeah, I don't know. I think learning Menace like that is really weird. Not weird. Unique. Very interesting experience with Menace. I don't know if you saw it, but I have a short where I used the Remaster mod. One of the weapons in that called the Titanite Pebble to pick up Lautrec and throw him off the edge. And it does damage when you do that. So he's like, you leave me no choice, as he's flying off the edge. It's so funny. I don't remember how long ago that was, but that is a short that is up on my channel somewhere. He didn't hit the wall. He went straight off the ledge. But he does take damage. It deals damage even if they don't hit the wall, is my point. I hope that I can... Ow! That was rude. Jeez. Hopefully I can do this first try. 7 months ago, wow. Really? Jeez. I started that run, like the full run, I started it over because I thought it'd be funnier to do an Andre cosplay for that. I don't remember how far I got, but I got a decent chunk of the way in. I think I beat Ornstein and Smough. And I'm doing a lot better. Excuse me. I'm doing a lot better in the run this time, despite having less armor from doing the cosplay. What? Stop it! Okay. Extremely rare that I get attacked on the ladder after going up and around, but... Yeah, I voice act the damage grown a lot. I blame autism. Look, you were attacking me. I was trying to get the Lord Vessel so I could warp and fight the Four Lords. It's not my fault that I had to fight you, okay? And maybe if you would just leave me alone and let you go up your personal elevator. You know? I did, yeah. However, in Soul Level 1, with only the straight sword hilt, that run that I'm doing, it is actually far easier to beat Smough first. Not because Ornstein's second phase is easier, but because Smough is vastly easier in the first phase and has way less lightning resistance. I mean, to be fair, the first phase is easier if you beat Smough first. It's just the second phase becomes really annoying and broken. To the point where the boss can go through the wall if you stand in the wrong spot. I don't know. Super Ornstein isn't, like, difficult. It's just annoying and glitchy. Weird hitboxes. Worst hitboxes in the game, and it's not even close. Like, Iron Golem has the grab hitbox. That's kind of it. As opposed to Super Ornstein, who can hit you, you know, 20 feet away from his spear. I mean, proper boss. Definitely a proper boss, just buggy. I'm gonna put on the gold serpent ring. It doesn't guarantee toxic. If you kill them and then roll away instantly, or if you backstab them, you'll actually not take, or you'll not get toxic. It's pretty easy to not get toxic in melee range if you know what you're doing. Okay, that works too. Drunk? Unfortunate. Why do these things have so much health? It's not worth it. Marriage counseling is in order. But then it won't be toxic old man Yowie anymore. It'll be healthy old man Yowie. Which is also cool, I guess. I don't know, it's a lot harder with shorter weapons, but like with a dagger, it's very difficult to not get toxic. But if you have like a greatsword, it's pretty easy if you space properly. Remember the really old, well, really old by today's AI standards, but the older videos of like the presidents playing video games? That's what I think of whenever I see those really poorly made AI videos. Yeah, exactly those. um, also saw Joe Biden playing Minecraft. That was one of the first ones I saw, I think. Hey, can you give me a chunk, please? That's all I want. So I don't have to go to Anne Orlando to get a plus 15. Pardon me. There's one more Dark Wraith over here that'll be easy to kill. Never mind. I suck at the video game, I forgot. Punk? Yeah. I forgot that these ghosts are here. They're so annoying. Okay, everything's fine. I just want one chunk. Ugh. I just want one 32 16 by 16 chunk of blocks. Is that so much to ask? Look, if you just let me get the Lord Vessel, I'm not going to bother you playing Minecraft, alright? More chunks would be appreciated, but one chunk is all I really need. I guess I could dupe it, worst case scenario. I also don't want to. I'm getting better at parrying these guys. I don't think I'm good still, but getting better. Not a single drop. Not even... Okay. Come on. This gotta be. No, nothing. My personal favorite Night Lord would be Noster, followed by Maris, because I'm insane, I guess. But, you know. Libra's probably my least favorite, which is unfortunate. I don't know, I think he's cool. No, definitely not my least favorite. Never mind. I changed my mind. But definitely not my favorite. I don't know. Libra is cool sometimes. And sometimes he spams his most annoying attack over and over and over. And personally, I don't think that's very fun. I don't know, and I don't really have any reason to like most of the other ones. Like, what's the first one? Tricephalus. Tricephalus is cool, and I think is a really good first boss, you know? But other than that, I don't think Tricephalus is particularly special. What's the second one? Noster. Noster's cool. I really like Noster. Oops. I think it's really interesting how you have to deal with both the moth and the scorpion. It's a duo fight that isn't really a duo fight, and I think that's fun. Like the Twin Princes, which is also one of my favorite bosses in Dark Souls 3. I hate Gaping Jaw. Gaping Jaw sucks because his AoEs are super frustrating. But otherwise, Gaping Jaw is fine. The second phase is really annoying. I already voiced my thoughts on Libra. Caligo is extremely easy. So, kind of hard to have a strong opinion on Caligo either way. But Caligo's music is incredible, and it's still a really fun fight. Maris, I really like. I think it's really interesting with the insane lightning resistance or lightning weakness that it has. Not because of the damage that the lightning does, but because of what the lightning does to it. I think that's a really fun mechanic. And really forces you to change how you're building your character as you go through. And even if you don't have lightning, you know, you can save your ult and that with your teammates, and it encourages teamwork in a lot of ways. If you're playing a melee character, the way you fight it is just dramatically different from how, like, if you're playing a melee character that isn't Wilder, because Wilder has insane movement, the way you fight it changes completely, where you have to attack the tentacles and the jellyfish instead of Maris itself to stun it. And I think that's really fun. I think it's a really interesting gimmick boss. Probably one of my favorite gimmick bosses that From has ever made, actually. The Dark Drift Knight, I don't remember its actual name, is annoying. Just because it has spears constantly shooting out of the ground, which I find really frustrating. Otherwise, what's the other one? Final boss guy. Golster? However you pronounce that. He's fine. It looks awesome, especially like when he's switching elements in the last phase, but otherwise, a lot of the attacks are annoying. Like, has the weirdly massive AoEs, weirdly timed AoEs as well, just like Gaping Jaw that I don't super love. Yeah, Fulgor. Fulgor. Best part of waking up. Black Souls? Is that the... Is that the NSFW RPG? Interesting. I have not heard of that. One of Libra's mechanics hates women. That is pretty unacceptable. Oh yeah, the weird buff that Libra has. I hate that. Just because if you're not playing Iron Eye, that attack or that buff is like impossible to stop if you don't have your ult. As opposed to, you know, being able to build for it. Especially if you're playing solo. God, terrible. Okay. I'm gonna run through the Berg to grab some chunks from the Black Knights. What other chunks am I missing? The two in Sense Fortress, and then the one in Orlando. Okay. Yeah, this weapon is pretty cool so far. It does a lot of damage. Like, a lot more than I expected. Pretty fun. Pretty basic moveset, but, like, it's different from the other Greatswords, so I think it's still pretty fun to use. Demon Knight? You mean Demon Titanite? You can't. The only place you can farm Demon Titanite is from Lost Izalith. From the one Prowling Demon, which is the only one that respawns, and its respawn mechanics aren't, like, resting at a bonfire. Otherwise, Sen's Fortress has 4 Demon Titanite, and Orlando has 5 or 6, I think. So yeah, once you get to Anne Orlando, you'll definitely have a +5 boss weapon. If you're getting the chest. So there's the one behind the elevator, there's the one in the room with the 3 Silver Knights for Sigmar's quest. There's the actual Titanite Demon in that tiny room in the chapel itself. I think that's it. And then, yeah, there's the 4 in Sen's Fortress in the goop. Oops. Of course. And then there's the only other 2 Demon Titanite off the top of my head is the one in the parish right next to Andre, and the one in the catacombs. And the one in the catacombs is so annoying because of how thin that hallway is. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. I died. This is truly tragic. I can't believe this. Why am I not just going back through the parish? That's gonna be faster. What am I doing? Why? Oh. Oops. Okay, I'm going the other way. A big fail. Bloodborne is by far the worst? That sure is an opinion that you have. I mean, if it's not like, you know, your thing to parry and the faster pace, like, I guess. But I don't know. Bloodborne has its own ups and downs, which I think are unique and fun to experience, even if it's not my personal favorite. You're gonna need a big toothbrush. Good luck. Sleep on the floor in the middle of the boss arena? Do you even need to sleep? I thought you were apparitions. Terrible working environment. True. Mikalash? Okay, if you cheese Mikalash. Like I said, ups and downs. You know, I like experiencing the bad parts of video games because I think it's fun to see what makes them bad and how they could be interesting. Mikalash is a great example of that. I think Mikalash could have been an interesting fight if it wasn't just like a really bad NPC fight with a bunch of running. If it was just the running, like just the chasing, and it wasn't such a long area, there was like an interesting fight at the end, an interesting but relatively easy fight at the end. It could have been a lot more fun, rather than just like, dealing with garbage. It had potential, and it did not meet it, but I think that's fun to experience personally. Unnecessary two-handing. Jesus, 930 damage. Ooh. Basic music? I don't love Bloodborne's music, don't get me wrong, but I absolutely would not call it basic. Like, Orphan of Kos, Lawrence. Yeah. My roll button didn't work. I think it's because I didn't press it fast enough. My finger did not come off the button. I'm just going around. This isn't worth it. I don't care about saving 2 seconds. I mean, I do. Enough to have lost like 30 seconds from it. Worse? Okay. Bloodborne, by far, has the strongest atmosphere of any game FromSoft has ever made. It's also a lot more colorful than Dark Souls 3, by far. Oh my god, I forgot they could do that. You know, when the rat works, it works. I don't think making a new rat model is necessarily required for FromSoft. If it works, it works. Okay. Bait used to be believable. Even if it is bait, it's fun to think about, right? Bloodborne was also my least favorite, weirdly. I'm just gonna go down to Wailing. I don't know. Yeah, the first time I played Bloodborne, it was my least favorite because it was so dramatically different. And then once I learned it, I started kind of getting into it. Right now, I would rank it second to last, just before Elden Ring. Elden Ring is my least favorite, by quite a wide margin at this point. But I don't know. I've come around and definitely really like Bloodborne now. I love all the games. I love Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Demon Souls. Unfortunately, I love Elden Ring. I love Bloodborne. They're all just good games. Sekiro. Very different focuses in a lot of different ways. And I think they all have their strengths and weaknesses and different reasons for liking them. When I said it's fun to think about, I don't think Archdragon Peak being better than most of Bloodborne is what I was talking about. Archdragon Peak is by far my least favorite level in all of Dark Souls 3. And probably my least favorite level in the majority of the series. I would rather play through Frigidite's Outskirts than Archdragon Peak. That's not even a bit. Frigid Outskirts is like a 2-minute run. That's really manageable. Using the Kirk hammer? I think I was using the one that transforms between a Greatsword and a straight sword. The Dark Souls weapon in Bloodborne. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. Smough, thank you so much. Chicken butt. I don't know why that made me giggle. And the fact that that made me giggle more. Sack should give poise, I agree. Sack should be the best armor piece in the game, but only if it's the only piece of armor you're wearing. We should have the status resistances of the Black 10 set, and the other resistances of Apples. Bloodborne is almost emulatable by most people. I did buy an entire PS4 to play Bloodborne, though, because I was extremely fortunate with money at the time. Not anymore. I would not be able to afford that, but at the time, it was very worth it. Bought a PS5 for Demon's Souls Remake as well, which was less worth it, but was still very worth it. And now I am poor, so... Yeah, Ludwig's Holy Blade or whatever. I think that's what it's called. Isn't the game like $10 most of the time? I don't know, I got it for pretty cheap. Krista. I mean, look, I don't like asking for things. When it's something like an entire console for one game that I want to play on it. Though that PS4 did let me play on the Elden Ring Network test, which was very, very worth. So, you know. I did say your message to Smough, but I don't remember what it was. So, it did happen, though, at some point. Bloodborne, as far as I remember, it goes on sale pretty often. And if it's not on sale, like, you can get secondhand discs for super cheap as well. You have a better memory than I do. I have ADHD, so that's not surprising. You plonker. We're going to talk about overrated. In my personal opinion, Elden Ring. I say as I have like 400 hours in Elden Ring, and say I don't like it all the time. Even though I very much do like it. I've played it many times and plan to play it many more. Yeah, Bloodborne is or a PS4 emulator is being worked on. It's not like 100% there yet, as far as I know, but you know, yeah, I would argue that Dark Souls 3 is also overrated. But like, it's a lot of people's first Souls game. I mean, so is Elden Ring, I guess. I don't know. It's understandable, but I should get something to restore stamina faster. Can y'all do me a favor and pretend like we ran up Blighttown to get Power Within? I really don't want to do that. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I have Power Within now. We ran up Blighttown to get it. Tune, Power Within. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I went through Blighttown normally and got Power Within. That's not the way I need to go. I didn't cheat. I grabbed Power Within normally. I don't know. Challenge runs in Elden Ring don't interest me whatsoever. Just because it's like, I mean, it's Elden Ring. I wanted to learn the bosses, but then I tried, and I did learn a few of them. And Like, do I really want to learn the ones that annoyed me to no end when one of the ones that barely annoyed me, learning it was just so unfun, you know? Like, do I really want to learn, I don't know, Death Right Bird well enough to beat it in a challenge run? I don't think so. Like, I understand liking Elden Ring. And I do think it's a good game. It's just really not for me a lot of the time. Oh yeah, Night Rain is way, way better than Elden Ring. Or for me personally. I love Night Rain. I think it's super fun to... The differences make the combat itself a lot more fun, I guess I should say. Because you have the super fast enemies that outpace the player in every way, and these super long combos that you can do nothing about in Elden Ring. And then in Night Rain, you know, you have insane movement abilities. You can run way faster. You have your ult, which can nullify extremely long combos. You have the special attacks, I forgot what they're called, that act as special attacks of your own, or super long combos of your own, effectively, you know. It feels a lot more balanced than base Elden Ring did to me. Without, like, you know, using tons of super strong weapons and spirit ashes and whatever. Because that feels cheap to me. Oops. Not cheap, that's not the right word. It feels like I'm not engaging with the game as much as I could, which doesn't feel good. I know it's like to the point where, you know, it's a casual run, play the game how you want. But when I'm using mechanics to bypass other mechanics because I'm not having a good time, you know, that's a different experience. Rory, like Rory Knight from Deltarune? I just beat you before the stream. Okay, I don't know if that's niche. Any lesbian is better than Elden Ring, unless they're a TERF. Or, you know, transphobic lesbians are very uncool. Dark Souls stuff? I think it's fun. I think it's super fun that they put Dark Souls fan service in the Elden Ring spin-off game. It's so much fun. I know Deltarune isn't niche, but calling the Roaring Knight Rory Knight? Rory. That's a really hard name to say, I'm sorry. Rory Knight. I did that fight before stream because someone... Okay. So, on TikTok, if you're not on TikTok or not, you know, into the Deltarune community on TikTok, you might not have seen it. I'd be shocked if you didn't. But if you're not, like, you don't watch video games or whatever on TikTok, you might not know this, or if you don't watch TikTok at all. However, there's a huge subsect of the Deltarune community that's just people changing their profile picture to this, like, fish-eyed drawing of Noelle. Calling themselves the Noellings. And we're all, like, following each other. I'm part of this cult, community. It's super fun. But, yeah. But someone made a Discord server based on that community, and I joined, and someone was doing the Jevil fight. So I loaded up the save that I had at the Jevil fight from another playthrough that I did, because I was transferring the save files between my laptop and desktop, so I had a save file right in front of Jevil, so I fought Jevil. And then, like 10 minutes before the stream, I decided to do a night fight and won first try. So, lots of backstory to why I fought the knight before the stream. The sword is really good. It's doing a lot of damage. Yeah, I guess it doesn't need much context. I don't know. I don't want people to think that I came up with that joke. I'm not that funny. Never used TikTok. I think it's a fun app. I assume it's standard. Yeah, standard damage. Which is unfortunate for, like, 2 bosses. Yeah, I guess I don't really have any reason to level up anything other than Vitality at this point. I guess Endurance if I want to use cool armor. Which I absolutely do, and I should be leveling that up. I don't know. I think standard damage makes sense to exist. Because there are weapons that feel like they wouldn't fit neatly in any specific category. Like obviously you have weapons that deal multiple damage types. Trying to think of a good example. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea. Like the Demon's Great Axe is a great example of that, I think. It does pure standard damage. And like, it's an axe, but it doesn't... I feel like axes in general actually are a good example because like they would slash, but they also like cleave, you know? So I don't think it makes sense for them to deal slash damage, but it also doesn't really make sense for them to deal strike damage because obviously they have a blade. So I don't know. I think it makes sense for certain weapons. Okay. Add a whole new damage type for axes specifically. The sack fit goes hard? True. Again, if you don't fight me, I'm not going to interrupt you playing Minecraft. You can continue playing Minecraft. I just need to use your personal elevator. One of them. Yeah, or get Gwendolyn to make an illusion of you. That works too. Speaking of Gwendolyn, I want the brass set. Oh my goodness, I suck at this game. Oh my god. Hold on, I got this. Everything's fine. Where are you going? Everything's fine. I know they're yours, but I need to use them. If you let me use the elevator, I wouldn't interrupt you playing Minecraft. Is it really worth it? Protecting your elevator? You have to stop playing Minecraft to do that. Their world would look like Anne Orlando. An entire reconstruction of Anne Orlando. This is vanilla. I do have DSR gadget open because if I like have really big issues or whatever, I can back up my position without having to mess with save files. I can speed myself up. Oh, unless you're talking about Minecraft. I didn't even consider that possibility. This is vanilla Dark Souls though, mostly. This is true. Java is, I don't know. Actually, I think Bedrock has its strong points. Like it's way easier to play multiplayer in Bedrock, which is like a huge part of the game for a lot of people. Come on, really? Can't even quit out quickly. Yeah, I think there are a lot of mechanics that just make Java better. However, oh, I didn't kill the giants. Yeah, they both have their strengths. Absolutely. And I think Bedrock is good for people who prefer playing exclusively multiplayer and don't want to deal with like port forwarding or Hamachi for LAN or setting up a server or whatever. Yeah, Java is a lot easier to play, a lot easier to mod. Redstone is better on Java. Except you can't move and tile entities, which is really annoying. No movable chests is a very sour spot for Java Redstone. Yeah. As someone who doesn't play with friends very often, I can't say I have no friends because I have a lot of partners and friends and whatever, but I don't play Minecraft with people very often. And like when I play Minecraft, I generally tend to prefer playing something like Sky Factory, which I think is a much better as a single player experience. Okay. There's the fit. It's gonna be too heavy right now, I think. No? Oh my god. Okay. Fit acquired. This is the build, the whole thing. Um, I'm sorry, Ornstein and Smough, but I think your fight is going to be really easy. Power Within does not increase your capacity. No, it's exclusively damage and stamina restoration. Speed. This is like a really good greatsword. Xanthus set with Mask of the Child. Um, Dark Souls 2, I really love the Xanthus set in Dark Souls 2. Not the helmet, unfortunately. But the rest of the Xanthus set is really, really, really good in Dark Souls 2, fashion-wise. So that's what I usually use. Xanthus set with no helmet, because I actually tend to put effort into my characters in Dark Souls 2. Get to the Pasaka soon? Okay, I'll do my best. Right after the Four Kings, I promise. I don't know. I don't love the Xanthus set in Dark Souls 1. I don't think it looks bad. I love the yellow, but it's also really annoying to get because you have to go to the Painted World and fight Jeremiah and... Make sure you're human when you get to the graveyard area, which is also kind of a chore to get to if you're not... Or if you're doing the route that I use to get through the Painted World. Executed Smough. A Chloranthy ring over favor and protection would be so nice. I would also like to get... Oh my god, that was scary. I'd also like to get Grass Crest, but I don't think I'm going to go out of my way for that. And Smough and Ornstein. Nothing out of the ordinary happening. Nothing weird happened. But I did kill the giants in Sense Fortress. I mean, yeah, I don't, like, strictly need the Ring of Favor and Protection by any means. It's just, like, it's there. And when I'm using especially heavy weapons like this, might as well. But yeah, Chloranthy Ring is just better. If you have time to go out of your way for it. Like, recently, I've almost exclusively been using the Chloranthy Ring over Favor and Protection. But, like, I don't know. There's also... what are the rings? Brain? If you're... I mean, Red Tearstone Ring is always nice to have on hand, just in case or whatever. Haha, on hand, get it? I don't want to do Phase 2 Ornstein, that sucks. Smough was too slow for that. Like, when Ornstein instantly sprints to me and Smough is hanging back there, you know? Oops. Oh my goodness. Stop dodging, you freak. Okay. There we go. Yeah, Silver Serpent Ring. I completely forgot about Silver Serpent Ring. I should... When I do the Uchikatana run, I think Silver Serpent Ring and Dark Wood Grain would be a fun combo. Oops. Rip Ornstein. Uh-oh. Everything's fine. Uh-oh. Everything's fine. How am I chatting while fighting? Thousands of hours of playing Souls-likes. Hundreds of Ornstein and Smough fights. And like 1,200 hours in Dark Souls 1 specifically. Rest in peace, Smough. Oh. Once again, Someone talking to Ornstein and Smough and not me. Ed. I don't know, they have the same experience. Actually, clearly they don't, because they lost really quickly. They were very distracted by chatting while fighting, and that's why it was so easy. Like, I'm not gonna... Your dying wish is for me to lie to you, like... I guess, but you're already dead, you know? You can't take that back. I'm capable of talking really easily while fighting. They are not, clearly. You did hit me. Hit me once. Both of you hit me once, I think. Yeah, something like that. I'm pretty sure I only got hit twice. I feel like I wouldn't want to do a hitless run of Dark Souls 1, but I think a sort of, like, Oko run of Dark Souls 1 would be fun. Or if I get hit once, I die instantly. Which I kind of have in the past. I've done Soul Level 1 New Game plus 6, which is like almost everything instantly kills you. But I didn't end up finishing that. I do want to do Soul Level 1... No, Soul Level negative 83 New Game plus 6. So, highest New Game with the glitch that lets you go to a super negative soul level. Oh, I should level up my sword, huh? I kind of forgot about that. I did that much damage with a plus 12, by the way. Hold on. Another... Nothing is happening. I also grabbed the Titanite chunk outside of the giant's room. Oh, I don't have enough souls. Like, when I do the soul level negative 83 run, I'm gonna let myself do whatever I want to make it easier. Full pyromancy, whatever rings I want, hyper mode, whatever weapon I want to use. Just because if I don't do that, it's gonna be stupidly difficult. Like, genuinely stupidly difficult. I was barely able to beat the Four Kings when I did that run at soul level 1. Mo hasn't... Oh, fire prelate, okay. I was very confused as to who you were referring to with Smo's alternate body. I only wanted to do the soul level, or wanted to do the soul level 1 New Game plus 6 because that just sounds absurd, which is funny. But it won't be particularly difficult, which is my favorite kind of challenge run to do, right? It's really fun to say, oh, look at this insane thing I'm doing, and then make it as easy as possible. Straight Sword Hill Soul Level 1 is a great example of that, which will be more evident when the video comes out. Like, it's absolutely still extremely difficult, and I'm not having an easy time with that run, but it's not, like, impossibly difficult like it sounds like it would be, which I think is a really fun way to do that kind of run. And there are still runs that I do that are difficult that I don't, like, go out of my way to make easy. I'm doing Soul Level 1 Jagged Ghostblade. Like, I'm using Power Within, but that's the only, like, real major change that I'm doing to that run. Or major thing that I'm doing to make that run easier, you know? So I do still enjoy a properly difficult Dark Souls 1 challenge run every so often. I just think it's more fun to, like, use game knowledge to make things that sound insanely difficult be easier. I don't want to run all the way down to Grasscrest, though. That's so far. Oh my goodness. Good damage. Yeah, I want to try Deathless eventually. Especially after watching Nikki do that. Who is the person who drew my thumbnails for the Lucerne video and the other one. Fight Night Catchball. He did a Deathless run. Or she attempted a deathless run and that made me want to try it. One more. I don't know, but then I'd have to do Seath Skip. I might do Deathless, except Seath Skip, because engaging with more of the game is more fun for me. Then I have to, like, go through the prison and everything. I just think that'll be more interesting. I try to live stream every Wednesday. Sometimes Tuesdays. I try to do consistently on Tuesdays, but recently, with my sleep schedule being weird, it's been difficult. Hopefully next Tuesday I will do a stream, but no promises. And then next Wednesday I will definitely be doing a stream with the giant dad build. Yeah, Sekiro feels a lot more conducive to, like, perfecting it, you know? Which I think is really fun. As opposed to Dark Souls, which doesn't ever feel like that a lot of the time. I mean, you can absolutely, like, perfect how you fight certain bosses in Dark Souls and whatever, but it doesn't feel as built for it as Sekiro. Have a good night. Thank you for being here while you could. And see Paul. I don't like... Well, that's not true. I enjoy challenge runs where you don't... that don't require effectively perfect play a lot more most of the time. Like, I don't know, Tunic. I'm working on Tunic stick only. I'm on the final boss, but I don't need to play perfectly there at all. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. With the final boss, I have to do it hitless for various reasons, but I've also done a couple other bosses completely hitless, but most of the time, you know, being completely hitless doesn't matter that much. What is the second boss in Sekiro? Because different people would have different bosses that would apply to. I don't even remember what the second required actual boss is. But, like, Butterfly and Gyobu could both fall under that. Gyobu? Yeah, I would consider Gyobu the first Sekiro boss. Me amo! Yeah. I forgot about that. That's funny. I forgot to press the roll button. What was your first boss? Do you remember? Genichiro, right, okay. Yeah, but I don't know. Ogre is a mini boss, right? And is Blazing Bowl before Gyobu? I actually don't remember. Don't worry, Artorias is gonna fight me anyway. It's fine. Blazing Bowl is after Gyobu. Okay. It's been a while since I played Sekiro. Yeah, Ogre is annoying. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Sif. I'm sorry it has to be this way. Oh, instability damage. Wow. Rest in peace. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I usually do Harada prior to Gyobu because I like having the extra damage. Not because Gyobu is like particularly difficult for me. I just think it's funny. I find Lady Butterfly way harder than Gyobu actually. Not like, again, not like particularly difficult, but relatively speaking. I'm gonna have to take my pants off, unfortunately. Maybe fortunately, depending on who you are. I thought that said Demon Blade, and I thought you were referring to Curse Blade from Demon Souls, and was very confused. I don't know, honestly, just because it's so slow, like, it would do a lot of damage, but it's not insane. I don't think it would be as insane as, like, a curved sword or that. Or, obviously, the Demon Great Axe. Yeah, having the ogre so early is so strange to me. Because it's like, you haven't learned the playstyle that the game wants you to do yet. You haven't even fought the first actual boss, you know? And then suddenly you're thrust into, don't ever press the deflect button. Which makes it way harder, in my opinion, to like get to grips with the rest of the game. At least it was for me. I had a really hard time learning the rest of the game after Ogre because of that. In fact, I barely even attempted to deflect to Gyobu because of that. Yeah, Krista, you are exactly who I was thinking of when I said that. I'm glad you got it. I should upgrade my SS Flask. Nah. Oops. Okay, that's fine. A rare magic attack. I don't know. Rare is probably a strong word there. Bot's house. Okay. Good damage. Not insane because of the speed of the weapon, but very good damage. Yeah. Oh, Ogre blocking off Harada would have been good. Yeah, I agree. I think that would have been a lot more balanced and would have been more conducive to learning the game better. I don't know, unless you're me, who does optional challenges immediately because... I don't know. Hubris. Okay, that's annoying. Good moment to heal, I guess. Oh, thank you. Yeah, 2.5 kings. Power within doing the stamina lead is very, very nice for that. Need to be fought with a flamethrower. I think I only ever used the firecrackers on him. There he is. It's Koth. Consume me. Actually, don't, but carry me in your mouth. Yeah, this weapon is like shockingly good. I was not expecting it to be this good. I think so far, I don't know if I would consider it to be the best greatsword, but it's really good. Oops. Pasaka time. We're getting there. So it was you, was it? How dare you produce a blade? Oh. Dark Souls 1 PvP experience. But how? This... Extremely difficult. Again, I should probably upgrade my Estus Flask having this much health. The best strength scaling? I'm not actually sure. It does have A. That does make sense. It's also not quality scaling. It's a lot easier to use than, say, Claymore or Bastard Sword because of that. So I think the moveset of the Claymore and Bastard Sword are probably better. Not that this one is bad, but this feels a lot more like an enemy or a weapon to use on boss enemies as opposed to individuals. Favorite weapon type? I assume yours is spears. I don't know what mine would be, to be honest. Probably halberds. I really love a lot of the halberds in this game. Oh. Gargoyle's halberd. The normal halberd I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. The Lucerne is really fun. The scythe. Not the great scythe, but the scythe is my favorite weapon in the game. The great scythe is also really fun. The life on scythe is really fun. The giant's halberd is really fun. Lots of really good weapons. Lots of really good halberds, specifically, I guess. Curved swords are also really fun. Hammers. Hammers are also really fun. The pickaxe is a hammer, right? You have the pickaxe, you have the mace, you have the blacksmith hammer. Very, very good weapon type. Yeah, curved swords are really fun. Thrusting swords, I feel like, are a very mixed bag. Because the Estoc and Regiers, Jesus. Ricard's rapier are both really, really fun. And then the rapier just kind of sucks. The Mailbreaker doesn't really have much of a use that the Estoc doesn't really fulfill. Very mixed bag there. Velka's rapier is unfortunate. I wish Velka's was better. Put my pants back on. They can drop their bow. That's news to me. Yeah, the scythe is a very interesting weapon. The fact that it is a Bardiche is what makes me love it, though. I love Bardiches. It's such a cool looking weapon. The Crescent Axe is also one of my favorite, like, looking weapons. I think it's super fun. Super fun to use, but oops. But it's also like not super great damage. What do you mean Velka's is very good, huh? Have you used the weapon? Velka's is not good damage at all, unfortunately. I definitely wouldn't even say Velka's is decent. Like, the niche that Velka's could have fulfilled, you know, an early game special weapon with decent damage and that will carry you through your early game without much investment, that's already taken up by Astora's, and then you get Velka's, you know, halfway through the game. So Velka's just doesn't have a niche to fit into and isn't very good damage-wise. It's cool, but that's kind of it. It's kind of all it has going for it. I feel like daggers are also a very mixed bag in terms of how good the weapons are, actually. It's like, Bandit's knife is really good. Priscilla's dagger is, like, shockingly good. But then you have the Ghost Blade, which is just the worst weapon. Without much room for argument. The normal dagger is just simply outclassed by the Bandit's knife by far, you know? Oops. Okay, Misaka time. Always join at Seath. Use the Uchi in your first playthrough. You open the corner and the undead merchant. Boots. Yeah, no, I get that. I killed Macduff in my first Dark Souls 2 playthrough. I don't think I ever ended up finishing that one, actually. But very unfortunate. I feel like, okay, katanas. Oh my goodness. Katanas have like 4 weapons. And the Iaito is basically the Uchi katana. The wash and pull is funny. Extremely long weapon, extremely brittle, which makes it pretty unique, I think, in terms of how you use it. Especially because Crystal has higher durability than normal. Makes the Eastwood Grain Ring, like, actually useful. Okay. There we go. And then there's the Chaos Blade, which is one of the most fun weapons in the game, but it's also kind of just the Uchi Katana with a gimmick. I don't super love the Uchi Katana. At least I haven't for my couple playthroughs that I've done with it. But hopefully that will change with the stream in a few weeks. I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that Crystal Infusion actually increases the durability on the watching pole, just because of how the math works. I might be wrong, but I did hear that on the internet, so there is a somewhat chance that it is true. Absolutely a chance that that is completely incorrect. So yeah, the Aito is just kind of there. I wish the Chaos Blade was a little bit more unique. But it is really fun, especially with the damage mechanic. Have a good night, Krista. Thank you for being here while you could. And thank you for the money again. Sleep well. Your heart is backwards. I think it's angry. Or half your heart is backwards. Yeah, the Fury Sword is cool. I just wish the Fury Sword did better damage. I don't know. Like, I guess it does the chaos scaling, which is cool. And it's unique in that way. Or, like, it also does split damage. But, like, I don't know. Fury Sword is underwhelming if you're not doing PvP. But it is really cool. Not exactly my favorite curved sword. Isn't the Scimitar just, like, worse Falchion as well? I'm actually not sure, because I always thought the Bastard Sword was just worse Claymore. Which is true in Demon Souls, but I don't know if that's true in Dark Souls 1. Or, it's not true in Dark Souls 1, rather, and I don't know if that's how the Scimitar and Falchion are in Dark Souls 1, because they are like that in Demon Souls. Just like how the Longsword is just kind of a better short sword in Demon Souls, but that's not really the case. In Dark Souls 1? Wait. I don't remember what I was saying. My brain just failed. I didn't know you could buy the Uchi Katana from Shiva. That's new knowledge to me. I was planning on killing the Undead Merchant. I guess that's still a lot easier, actually. No, or well, unless you mean Scimitar and Falchion, actually. I was thinking curved greatswords as heavy curved swords, but that's not what they're called. Because curved greatswords, I was going to say, are like really, really slow compared to curved swords. Though, I think the fastest weapon class in the game. I think the Jagged Ghost Blade is a really cool, fun weapon. Really, really good for early game, just like the Ghost Blade. But, you know, a lot better. Better range, better speed. Better moveset. Better damage, everything. But the Jagged Ghost Blade, like, shockingly well carries itself through most of the game. But it has awful scaling, so it drops off really hard. You can parry with the Uchi in the offhand? I should have known that. I feel like I did know that, and my brain didn't remember it. Real quick, I'm gonna upgrade my Estus Flask. Probably not super necessary for Seath specifically, but... There we go. Just so I don't forget it for the actually somewhat difficult bosses. Difficult might be a stretch, but you know what I mean. Shodel is underrated. In Dark Souls 1? I guess for PvP it's nice, but otherwise, I don't know. I did a playthrough. I did a Lotric. Hold on, it's in there somewhere. A Lotric cosplay run. Excuse me. And the Shodel, I don't know, it was fine. But I wouldn't say it's, like, underrated. I'm trying to think what weapons are, like, genuinely underrated. The Bandit's Knife? I feel like my assumption was always that daggers aren't good, so the Bandit's Knife isn't good. But when I actually did a run with the Bandit's Knife, people are saying that, oh yeah, this thing is great, you know, and everyone kind of just knew it. So I don't even know if my opinions on weapons are uncommon or not at this point. But then there are also a lot of people in comments recently that are saying daggers are bad, despite daggers being a really, really good weapon class if you know what you're doing. Harder to make use of, but still really good. I feel like most weapons in this game are good though, right? Like the whip is infamously terrible, but it's actually just like a good weapon. Like not incredible by any means, but like decent, you know? Fist weapons, like the Cestus is clowned on a lot, but it's really fun and shockingly good despite its reputation. The claws are also really fun. I really like the claws. I think the claws are probably my favorite fist weapon. The Dragon Bone Fist is funny. You got the Shoryuken. I remember seeing someone do a challenge run, quote unquote, with only fist weapons. Yeah, the claws are like really good because they have to bleed. It's like the Cestus and the claws are like the difference between the dagger and the bandit's knife, where the bandit's knife is just kind of better. But it's in the same weapon class as the other one, so people think it's bad if they don't know how to use it. Like the Cestus is good, but the claw is just better. Just like the dagger is good, but the bandit's knife is just better. Decent damage. Extremely difficult sea fight. Wow. I was not expecting to be able to do that without stopping attacking. The crystals only appear on the hand part? That's really funny. That sucks. Okay, God of Chaos. Yeah, barely won. That was terrifying. Very difficult fight. I think Centipede Demon is going to be funny in this run. Centipede Demon is usually funny, to be fair. I died to Centipede Demon yesterday in my Soul Level 1 Jagged Ghostblade playthrough. Because I cut off the arm, and then I ran away and put on the ring, and then I ran into the lava because I had the ring on, so I was going to obliterate it. And it jumped away and then immediately used its long-range attack, which I was not expecting at such close range, and I didn't dodge it, but I hadn't healed yet because I wasn't expecting it to use that specific attack, so I died. That was unfortunate. No, I didn't stream. I was recording a run. Yeah, the claws are really cool. I feel like... I don't know. I feel like just because there are so many weapons in Dark Souls 1, there's like the really popular good ones, like the Zwei, the Claymore, Black Knight weapons, you know. And not even the Black Knight weapons in general. It's just like the halberd and the sword. And I guess the Greatsword to an extent, but the less so than the other two. And the axe is like so rarely used. But then you have super cool weapons like the Dragon King Great Axe. That's incredibly fun and incredibly powerful. And there are ones that are like infamously really powerful that are still rarely used, like the Obsidian Greatsword, which I want to use eventually. I'll probably put that on the next poll. Or like, I don't know. There are a lot of weapons that are just like not well known that are super incredibly good. Like this is one of them, you know? This is an incredibly fun weapon. It's really, really powerful. And it's a fairly unique moveset among curves or among greatswords. But it's just like the claymore is so much easier to get. So people use it more. The Demon Spear? I did a stream with that actually. It is tied for the longest weapon in the game with the butterfly horn. It was fun. It wasn't like incredible as a weapon, but it was fun. Yeah, when I do the Obsidian Greatsword run, I'm planning on doing Sen Skip. I don't know what weapon I'm going to use to get there. They probably... I don't know. I'll figure it out. You know, Sen Skip, get the Lord Vessel. Kill... Oh, I need to kill Quelaag and the gargoyles anyway. Your toothpick is alright. It's not like particularly long relative to the Demon Spear and like Butterfly Horn, but... Oh, you use Dragon Scales to upgrade the Obsidian Greatsword, huh? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Honestly, I'll probably just grab like some random Twinkling Titanite weapon. Maybe try to get a Black Knight weapon or something. Yeah, I'm gonna dupe the Scales, absolutely. But I don't want to... I don't know, maybe I should use the Drake Sword. That'd be fun. Your hammer is the biggest, and it makes it impossible to see the screen. I want to do a run. I'm gonna do soul level 1 with the dragon form. Dragon torso stone. I think that's gonna be fun to do. I don't know. So I'm planning on doing soul level 1 with the Jagged Ghostblade, the Morning Star, and dragon form. Because they're like not super common soul level 1 weapons. And the Jagged Ghostblade is good, obviously. And dragon form is also really, really good. I have no idea about the Morning Star. But they're like so uncommonly used for soul level 1. So I want to do videos, you know. How hard is Dark Souls at soul level 1 with the Jagged Ghostblade or whatever. But it could also be interesting, I think, to put all 3 in a single video. So like, how hard is soul level 1 with these uncommon weapons or whatever kind of thing. But I don't know if that would be more interesting than just doing 3 separate soul level 1 playthroughs. I think I want to do 3 separate soul level 1 playthroughs instead. Like, they'd be separate runs regardless, but whether or not I put them in separate videos. Human Great Machete? Whoa. I used that in the stream, but I don't remember it at all. What class is that? Is that a Greatsword or an Ultra Greatsword? I remember liking it, but I don't remember why. I guess I'm also not a super huge fan of Ultra Greatswords regardless. Like, this Y isn't one of my favorite weapons because it's just like so slow. Which generally isn't an issue, but like when you've done hundreds of playthroughs with all the different weapon classes, Ultra Greatswords just feel so underwhelming because they're incredibly slow, but their damage is way worse than... Not way worse, but is generally worse than Great Axes or Hammers or Great Hammers. And they're slower, so it's just like... I don't know. I'm gonna get exploded. Never mind. Cool. I forgot to use power within. Don't explode me. Okay. I don't know. I'm using the Swi-hander next week, so we'll see. Hey, stop jumping all over the place, you freak. Sorry. There we go. Easy. I expected it to be easy, but... Yeah, Aaron from Game Grumps are friends. Stop jumping all over the place, you fucking freak. You're a freak. That's one of my favorite Game Grumps bits, I think. Definitely up there. Cursed Mountain 2. Or Cursed Mountain Episode 2. The screen was also pretty good. Oh, the Stone Great Axe. Yeah, the one that the Stone Guardians use or whatever they're called. That's definitely one that I want to use. Same with the Stone Greatsword. I think that I put the Stone Greatsword on the list for next week's poll? Or next month's poll, rather? I don't remember. You know, thinking about it, I could stream tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. Because, like, there's going to be another 2-week hiatus between streams, but after next week. But I don't know. I don't know. I could stream tomorrow and then twice next week as well, probably Tuesday and Wednesday. But then I wouldn't be able to do the Demon Souls stream. What do we think? I would get through more weapons that way. And eventually I want to do a stream or video with every single Dark Souls weapon, so that'll get me there sooner and then push me toward other Souls games like Dark Souls 2, the other good one. Oh. And more Demon Souls. Make a poll. I'll make a poll in the Discord. How about that? I guess I could do it. Well, I don't know. A lot of my YouTube audience doesn't really watch my streams. So, like, even if I did make a poll, I don't know. I'll do a Discord poll in the notifications channel. Link to the Discord in the description if you're not in there and you want to be. I also give notifications when I stream because YouTube notifications suck. And don't function a lot of the time. Come back here. The server? I've also done a stream with the server. That one was fun. I think I like went all in with the healing on it because I got the Sanctus, I got Ring of the Evil Eye. I don't know, it was underwhelming to say the least, but it's a cool weapon. Its description changes if you use the Chaos Infusion? I actually didn't know that. Finish brushing your teeth? Congratulations. I'm proud of you. Self-care is difficult sometimes. I get it. Not gonna be there for the drunk stream. True. Actually, oh my god, we're at 9,800, aren't we? That's wild. 200 subscribers away from 10,000. That's so insane. Oh my god. So many people. Endlessly grateful for anyone who subscribes, even just watching the videos. Like, thank you everyone so much. Don't mean to get sentimental in the middle of a stream, but it's wild. 100,000 is the silver play button, and then 1 million for the gold, I think. Wait. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I forgot silver play buttons were even a thing. Once I get the silver play button is when I'll start using a webcam more frequently. Just so I can show it off in the background. That's the only reason. Oh my god, that's so much health. I forget how easy this game can be. I don't know, that's not fair. I forget how many times you're allowed to take hits before dying if you, like, actually build for it. Because this weapon only has strength scaling, and I already have maxed out strength scaling, so it's like... You don't know what I look like? I post pictures there are a lot of pictures of myself on my Discord, but there's also the Dark Souls 3 Estus Flask recovery video, where I show my face, and also the very first Demon Souls streams I did. And I think they're called like looking for unremarkable and odd places in Demon Souls or something like that. But my face is not hidden. It wouldn't be like a face reveal. But I would use a webcam so I could show it off. Actually, the first time when I was making my character for the Demon Souls streams, the first ones that I did, I hit random and it created a character that looked like shockingly like me. It was uncanny how similar to me that character looked like me after just pressing the random button once. I posted it in the Discord, but I can repost it if people haven't seen it, if someone reminds me after the stream. But yeah, that was funny. It was very disconcerting because I had just like plugged in a webcam to my computer for the first time as well, and I was emulating it. Right, so if we can do Deathless Bit of Chaos, or if I fail to jump miserably. I wouldn't say the large club is the great club, but worse. I know if you enchant it, it has the highest split AR in the game. I think it's enchanted. I don't remember. But the large club, as far as I remember, it can have the highest split AR in the game. As opposed to the Demon Great Axe's highest not split AR. Come on, do the thing, please. 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 Come on. Please. I do want to use the large club soon. I don't know. I feel like enchantments or rather infusions are a lot more common in like PvP as opposed to PvE. And infusions can be fun to mess with sometimes. But largely, I feel like most people who know anything about the game don't use infusions. I do like that occult. I think divine as well, actually. And magic and enchanted do actually scale. Not well. Not nearly well enough to make up for the dramatic drop in damage that you get for having split damage, but I do like that they scale. They tried. And then did it vastly better with Dark Souls 2. I think Dark Souls 2 has the best infusion system. Because with Dark Souls 3, you know, the infusions are just... What stat do I have that's the highest? And then you do sharp or heavy or refined. And then that's kind of most of the time. Yeah, I actually looked into that. The Great Axe... It has the highest base AR. So the way that the infusions work, the way that they add damage is they'll take the base damage without any scaling and add that to your base damage on the infusion. So for lightning, at least, and chaos and fire. And because the Great Axe has the highest base damage without scaling of any infusible weapon, that's why it gets such insane damage on that. So I think it's 350 as opposed to like, I don't know, the Man-Serpent Greatsword without scaling 275, right? So you're getting significantly more damage than you would otherwise. All right, have a good night, Ornstein. Thank you for being here while you could. The skateboard slide? Yeah, that is pretty great. I think the depths and the bed of chaos are the only times in the game that slide happens, off the top of my head, including DLC. Nah, Framp deserves it. He's a freak. But, like, in a derogatory way. There are a lot of very cool, positive freaks, but Framp is weird and is trying to manipulate you into doing what he wants. For some reason. Some indecipherable reason. So, negative connotations. Fun fact, I learned this a while ago. I didn't actually use it until yesterday, though. If you have the Ring of Fog and Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring on, the small skeletons do not notice you in Nito's fight. So you can do the entire fight with only fighting Nito if you're careful about where you move to. So, like normally, you stay toward the front of the arena so you don't have to deal with the giant skeletons. You don't have to deal with the small skeletons either, if you do it right. Yeah, true. He is the only one that lets you sell stuff. But then, like, I don't know. I feel like after our first playthrough, selling isn't useful anyway. I guess converting Titanite types is also really nice. Alright. Rest in peace, Pinwheel. I think... I love the colors on this armor set, but I think the best part about it is the silhouette that it gives you. Oh my goodness, 2 hits. Rest in peace. I don't know, there are certain times when running around with this set on that, like, you just get the perfect hourglass figure. It's so good. Your character looks so curvy with this set. Boss fight, quote unquote. So they say. Oops. I'm interested in the DLC. I kind of want to fight Calamite. That's because I want to see what the damage on this thing. PS3 Smasher Pass? I mean, I'll do that regardless of how many subscribers I have, but that can be a good incentive. If you're willing to make that slideshow, I will absolutely do that at any point, but if you're not, I would happily make it myself for 10K. Okay, hold on. Let me read things without falling off the ledge 1 second. Yeah, and so my first playthroughs of Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, I played 2, halfway through 2, not even. I played a little bit through 2, I played a little bit through 3, I went back, finished Dark Souls 1, finished Dark Souls 2, then finished Dark Souls 3, and then for the longest time, I had such a difficult time switching between them. Like, I played Dark Souls 3, and then it would take me forever to adjust back to Dark Souls 1. It would take me forever to switch back into Dark Souls 2. I went the wrong way. Okay, that's fine. But now I can switch between very easily, which is really nice. There are still times where, like, if I'm playing Elden Ring and then go back to Dark Souls 1, I'll try to press Y to do something, or, like, I'll use the Elden Ring 2-hand input or whatever. But I've lost a Pinwheel while trying to beat him a couple times, because if you don't have good damage, like, I don't know, if you're going down there immediately for whatever reason, like, I grabbed the mace at the beginning of the game on the bandit class because I wanted the strength scaling and didn't care about having the face from the cleric, right? And the mace is, like, right there. And you try to beat Pinwheel at that point, it can actually be... I don't know why I healed there. It can actually be a little difficult. Just because in the second phase, he has, like, 8 clones that spawn at once. And that's really rough to deal with. But otherwise, he's pretty easy. If you have normal damage at that point. Yeah, Fextra isn't... I wish Fextra was a better resource, or there was a better resource. I don't know, phases... It's definitely phases, right? When you get halfway through the fight, he'll teleport away and then summon 8 clones at once. And then we'll summon more frequently and summon more clones at one time as well for the rest of the fight. But it's not like a dramatic change to the fight at all. Hey, Nito, how's it going? Oh, yeah. Good damage. Hey, can you not? Run, run. I think it's fine. Extremely difficult Nito fight. Yeah, I never switch the buttons. That would mess me up so much more. I could not deal with switching the buttons. Yeah, but the problem with Wikidot for, like, NPCs and stuff is it doesn't have pictures, so you'd have to separately look up pictures for every single NPC and everything for that kind of thing. Yeah, any boss, any enemy, really, in the game can kill you pretty easily if you're not careful. Once I enter the DLC, while that cutscene is playing, I'm gonna go use the restroom. Then we'll probably immediately obliterate the Sanctuary Guardian, unfortunately. I really... There are some, like, weird small side videos that I want to make, and I don't know if I should upload them on Saturday or make them, like, a midweek upload. Because, like, they're not a video that I would do as, like, a main video most of the time, right? So, like, with the Smasher Pass videos, I uploaded them in the middle of the week because I didn't want them to replace an actual weekly upload. But at the same time, the videos I want to do, like, they're really different, so they're probably not going to get many views. But they're also, like, somewhat big projects to work on. Like, I want to rank every single starting class in Demon Souls in a video. I think that would be fun. I want to make a video talking about Gwendolyn's lore and how their gender is when you only consider the text of the game and nothing outside of that. I'm going to make a video talking about Ledenzalen specifically because I love Ledenzalen and I want to justify that opinion. So. The two-handing input for all three is different on a mouse and keyboard and you can't make it the same. That's awful. We don't have to do it in chronological order. I think I would prefer doing Dark Souls 3 Smash or Pass to Bloodborne. Just because everything in Bloodborne would be Smash, as opposed to Dark Souls 3 being a little bit more berry. Thank you so much, Anna. There have been multiple instances of people, like... Brain? Like, seeing my... At the end of videos, there's like the end screen thing, right? And I'll usually link my second channel, which has my face as the profile picture. And multiple times people have joined my Discord and been like, whoa, you're so pretty, which is incredibly humbling. It's like, oh my god, random people on the internet think I'm attractive? That's scary. But it is extremely flattering every time. Okay, I'll be right back. came back. Why did I get 200 souls? What? Huh? What happened? What died? I'm baffled. Is there like an out-of-bounds enemy like in the Great Hollow? I want to see if that happens again. Maybe it only happens when you spawn in the first time. That's so weird. You gifted them? Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've never seen that. I've never seen anyone say anything about that either. I might open the Smith box after this stream and see if I can't find an out-of-bounds enemy or something in this area. It's so weird that it would be here though, because there are no enemies that are like active right now, right? Aside from the Sanctuary Guardian. How long ago did the cutscene end? Like, how long was it between the cutscene ended and when I got back? Because I feel like it's been longer than that by now, right? There are a couple times that happens in Dark Souls 1. The most well-known is the one with the out-of-bounds basilisk in the Great Hollow. But I think there is another instance of that somewhere, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, though. Oh, wait. Grab power with him. But one where someone would have a weapon there, SD. Yeah, that's kind of why I put the sack on. I thought it would be funny. It's kind of like vaguely similar to the butcher's knife, too. I'm glad that was recognized. Yeah, I'll open up Smithbox. I could do it on stream, actually, after we do Calamite. Or after we do Gwyn. We can figure this out together. I am really curious about that. Oh, oops. I'm bad at the game. I don't understand spacing, apparently. Ah! Listen, but... Big damage. I probably could have used an attack and won there, but looks like it wasn't super necessary. Uh, 1,000 hours in reference to never seeing those souls, or in reference to my performance at the Sanctuary Guardian? Both. I think both works. I swear, I know the game. Facing, yeah. I know what I'm doing. Kinda. If I'm gonna do Calamite, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit, just because this part isn't exactly the most interesting part of the DLC. Yeah, every single playthrough, it's like some random new thing I never noticed. Like, oh, that can happen? The skeletons will just be floating eyeballs? I haven't seen that one. If you have any explanation for that, I would love to hear it. Well, look, we've looked at Calamite a lot. We're going to be looking at Calamite a lot later, too. Actually, I just kind of went fast. That's kind of why I love Dark Souls so much. That's why I do challenge runs with it, you know? Like, I've played this game a ton, and I'm going to be playing it a ton more. But my challenge runs, I like to exploit my game knowledge, but like I just keep learning more. Dark Souls 3's Cathedral of the Deep. I don't think I knew about that one. That's really cool though. I should be able to just grab this back off. Calamite has been activated. You can't go fast up or down. Oh my goodness. Up or down the ladder because you'll either clip through the floor or not make it to the top of the ladder properly. So unfortunately, I do have to slowly climb the ladder. The longest ladder in the game. Apparently, according to the internet, at least, the ladder in Snake Eater actually varies in length depending on how quickly you climb it. So if you just sit at the bottom until the end of the song, it'll be a short ladder. Apparently, which is really cool. Taken out of bounds. Catacombs out of it. Huh. What the? Okay. Whatever you say, buddy. No follow-up? Weird. Oh. I should have... I wasn't paying too much attention. Yeah, I know it's such a last iteration of the song, but I thought they just kind of made it really long. Like long enough where if you hold forward the whole time, you'll end up getting to the top right as the song ends. Oops. Feel a little bit. Don't mind me. Wonderful performance in Artorias there. I do Calamite next. Alright, I guess I can do Calamite before Manus. Why not? Don't yell at me. I wonder if I can not wear the Apple's ring now. No. If I die to Calamite, I'm gonna cry. Actually, knowing my luck, he's gonna jump away and then do the jumping neck swipe. That's like weirdly difficult to dodge several times in a row. The known glitch? Yeah, I've never even heard of that. It must have like, yeah, gotten hit out of bounds and de-rendered. Dragon form karate? I'll do that at soul level 1. Eventually. You need the crest key to actually talk to him? That's really weird. Okay. Don't mind me dropping my water bottle on my keyboard. Hi, Ria. Welcome. Okay, can I talk to him now? That's really weird. Cool. Another thing you learned about Dark Souls today. So I feel like because I had to cheat to see that, you know, it's a little different. That's weird. I didn't know that there was a flag required to open that to actually see that dialogue. A freak like us. Truly. There's a plumbing company near me. Ria, you already know this, but there's a plumbing company near me, and their phone number is 1-800-freakin', which is incredible because it's a long cutscene. Already 2.5 hours in here. You need -200 equip load, but there's a glitch to trigger it easier. I can just do that. Well, it only works with certain copies of Dark Souls. You know, every copy is personalized and all that. It might not work for you, even if you get to that equivalent. Okay, let me check. Yeah, you need you also need level 101 endurance to get there. It's a little weird. That is shockingly good damage, wow. Oh. It's fine. Right in the cloaca. Mid-year could never compare. True. Yeah, you also do need to be on estrogen. That's important. You have to have autism or Sonic the Hedgehog. So like, some trans women, you know, will be autistic for Celeste. They can actually double jump. But because Sonic is my special interest, I can run really fast in Dark Souls. Because Dark Souls is another special interest. The cloaca. Yeah, this is a really good weapon. I was not expecting this weapon to be this good. Power Within ran out. Let's see what the damage does. Still really good. Yeah, 40% less. I guess I should have predicted that. God of War autism. I never liked any God of War games. That style of game was never really my thing, unfortunately. I had a friend who was super into them, though. Butt slam attack? It happened twice. Rest in peace, Chimkin, indeed. Having to trot through levels in at normal speeds. I mean, I choose to do that a lot of the time. Rest in peace, Calamari. That's awesome. Very normal. Sounds very normal to me. I've gotten to the point with Deltarune autism. I don't remember if you were here for the Noelling talk. But long story short, for those of you who weren't, there is a community on TikTok that have all set their profile pictures, including me, to a fisheye drawing of Noelle from Deltarune. And I ended up drawing the character in my thumbnails, in the Lucerne thumbnail and the Titan Knight Catchpole thumbnail, that Nikki drew for me. I ended up drawing that character with the fisheye lens as a Noelling. So that's my level of Deltarune autism at this point. Rest in peace, butt chicken. He did do the butt slam attack. Yeah, definitely not a cult. Rest in peace, Thomasy. Nothing culty about it at all. Whatsoever. All about spreading positivity. I had no idea that could hit you there. Whoa. That's never happened before. Let's see how many hits it takes to kill a mimic. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, my brain decided that I needed to do the reference. If I pick this up, will I have 2 copies of the key, or will it immediately drop it? Okay, that's what I figured. It is a very good OST. I just love the characters in Deltarune. I think that's why I really got attached to it. Same thing with Pokemon. The main reason, and actually same thing with Five Nights at Freddy's. I was huge into Five Nights at Freddy's for a while because I love the characters. Deltarune and Pokemon more so than Five Nights at Freddy's. But like, I don't know, just like the way the characters interact with each other and how I relate to them as well is a big part of it. And the different experiences that I've had with the Deltarune characters that I, obviously could never experience with real life people. And I think it's just, my brain has latched onto a lot of the characters in a lot of different ways, Fire Drake is larger than Calamite. I don't know. That's a good question. I guess, I mean, it is a descendant, right? I don't know. It was a Tootsie Pop reference, not a Count. What's his name? Is it just Count? I don't think it's Count Dracula. I don't know. It wasn't a Sesame Street reference. Because mimics are funny. I'm trying to think what my favorite FNAF game is. I don't know. I didn't really play them that much. The one I played most by far was Security Breach. His name is just the Count. Okay. Thank you for correcting my ignorance. I think Security Breach was my favorite FNAF game simply because I enjoyed exploring it like a sandbox because of how broken it was. And also because I think the characters were the most fleshed out and interesting in Security Breach, even if it didn't exactly do the lore as much justice as I would have wanted. after watching so much game theory as a child. Also, there's a missing polygon right there. I don't know. You can see the humanity through the stone, but you can see it on this side. That is the like second or third missing polygon that I know of in Dark Souls. I just noticed that. I had a cousin who absolutely loved Elmo, but like didn't have strong opinions on the rest of Sesame Street that I remember. I think the community around Security Breach was also a big part of it because it was the first FNAF game that I played that I played personally at release as well, and I played it with a friend. There were lots of memes that were really funny. Still can't fast roll. I just loved the vibe around it as well. I forgot power. Then again, hold on 1 second. Menace. I'll be back. Big Bird was scary. Understandable. Actually, I'm not a huge fan of Pokemon in general. The only thing I really do with Pokemon is shiny hunt. I love shiny hunting in the games, but that's kind of it. I also really like TCGP because the collection aspect is really nice. And it's like, you get to see cool art of the Pokemon. There's a lot of really good art in TCGP. A lot of the full arts are really, really interesting. A lot of the immersives too. I really like the Giratina full art? Or immersive? No, Palkia. The Palkia immersive. Can't believe I just got hit by that. This is unfortunate. Let me heal. Roxanne is hot. This is true. Roxanne Wolf. Yeah, there are also a lot of really funny cards in TCGP. I have opened so many EV Grow packs, and I still don't have a Flareon EX. That's the only card. I have all of the full art evolutions. I have the immersive Eevee, but I don't have a Flareon EX. It sucks because Flareon is one of my favorite Pokemon too. Yeah. Sleep well, Smough. Thank you for being here while you could. The bite of 87. Is that the bite of 87? And then, meanwhile, it was just Scott being Scott because it wasn't even remotely related to the bite of 87. Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, there's a new expansion out. I forgot. I opened one of the packs last night. The only crown rarity I have is Lunala, which I'm happy with. I love Lunala. Thank you, Ria. I will accept that after the stream. I think I also have immersive Mew. I have the immersive from Genetic Apex. I don't remember which one though. I have immersive Palkia. I have every card in Genetic Apex as well, if that gets you anything. I don't know. The secret Mew, which requires you get all original. I mean, again, I do have every single card from Genetic Apex, if that gets that to you. Oh, hey! I was watching you fight Jevil. Welcome to the stream. I'm about to go fight the final boss, and then open up a modding program to look at a glitch that happened earlier. Oh, nice. Congratulations. Did you just have like a save file backed up there? Did you download someone else's save file, or were you playing up through it when you said you were going to start a marathon? Like, how long until you start fighting Spamton Neo? Because depending on when that happens, I might be there for it. Yeah, then I think I have the Mew then, presumably. Yeah, I also had a save file at Jevil, and then I had another one at the night. I had the one at Jevil because I was transferring my save file from my laptop to my desktop. So I had that backed up. And then the night one, obviously, you just have that on Chapter 3. If you beat it. So you gave up. You can do it. I believe in you. I mean, you beat Jewel. I feel like if you're capable of beating Jewel, you're capable of beating the knight. Just gotta put in a little effort, right? Takes a bit to learn, but I don't think the knight is significantly harder than Jewel. It is definitely harder for sure. Okay, I should put this back on. Gwyn isn't a great guy, but I don't think he deserves that much torture. Ooh, owie. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I don't know how much you saw of the fight that I did while you were fighting Devil, but Susie is the only one with Rude Buster who can do even decent damage to the knight. So you just defend with Chris and Rase the whole time. Or heal with Rase if you have extra. I got the Devil's Knife from Devil in that playthrough, which made Rude Buster way easier to use for that fight. I have a legitimate copy of the game. So I wasn't actually playing on the most recent patch. I was playing on 1.01 when I beat it. But yeah, the sword hallway attack I think is the one that most people were complaining about. And God, it's so awful. It's easily the hardest attack to not get hit by, in my opinion. Yeah, the Devil's Knife makes it way easier because it drops 10 TP off of the cost. Have a good night, good day. Anna, thank you for being here while you could. Right. Ring. Hornet ring. I'm gonna take this off so I can... Gwen hasn't suffered enough. Yeah, Jevil was rough to learn. I should not have two-handed. Oh my goodness. Should have powered with hand. Hold on. 1 second, Gwen. um... What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Jevil. Jevil took me a while to learn the first time. Took me at least an hour. Actually, I don't know if it was long. It took me a while is the point. Like, probably around an hour. Wow, even not two-handing. That does more damage with power within. Jesus. But now I can beat Jevil pretty consistently. And I can beat the knight consistently, apparently. I did it first try before the stream. Gwen hollowed because he was watching Skibbity Toilet. Alright, stream's not quite over yet, so don't worry about that. But thoughts on the weapon real quick. Really, really good. Way better than I was expecting. Probably the best Greatsword if I had to give it a title. Definitely the rarest Greatsword still. I don't know actually. There's some, because it's like the Obsidian Greatsword, which I don't see anyone talk about. But it's also like infamously a really good weapon. Yeah, this is a really, really good weapon. Interesting moveset. Like the R1s are similar, if not exactly the same as the Claymore, but then the R1, R2s and everything, the R2 combo, I think is a really fun moveset. And then the running attack being the spin, I think it's the same as the Claymore actually. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a Greatsword to me for whatever reason. Really, really strong though. Really fun. I highly recommend using it if you haven't. Instead of ending the stream right now though, I am going to open up box because I want to see if we can find an explanation for those souls that I got when I entered the DLC. Let me open up a vanilla Dark Souls 1 project. I highly recommend Dark Souls 1. It is my favorite game of all time, by far. Souls twice? Really? Okay, let me see if I can remember how to use this program. This is the garden? Wait. Oh, that's okay. That's the arena, the PvP arena. Where am I? Okay, this is the forest. This okay. Here's the Sanctuary Guardian. Um, and this is the spawn. So I assume that there would be out of bounds enemies somewhere around here, and that just like fall to their death. But I don't see anything out of bounds. That's so strange. Why would that have happened? Like, I don't understand. I'm glad I seem cool. Thank you. um, I don't know what I did to seem cool, but I appreciate it. I really there's nothing out here. I'm sure I don't I'm not good at like the map editing in general, but like I don't see anything that it could have been. I've done a decent amount of modding with this program, and I just don't see anything that could have caused that. It might be buried within the scenery somewhere around here. That's so strange. I guess I can turn off the scenery as well, actually. A second. Is it map parts that I can? How do I hide this? I'm sure there's a way. Oh, here, isn't it? This is where I can. I I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't see anything. If someone wants to look it up, I have a. If you're not in the Discord and you do that, I would really appreciate you joining the Discord just so you can tell me. You're welcome to leave right after, but I'm really, really curious if anyone knows. Yes, like, but I've never seen that happen again. You know, I've gone to the bathroom while loading into the DLC before, and I've never seen that. Like, what would have fallen out of bounds? Um, the crystal golems maybe, or the cats, but then like 200 souls. They don't give. What gives 200 souls? Maybe. What are the enemies called? Um, the scarecrows. Do the scarecrows give 200 souls when they die? I can check that really easy. Um, how many souls do you give? Here. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done this. If 400, then what could have fallen out? I don't understand how that happened. That's so strange. I don't know. I'll look into it. um, that's so weird. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Um, I hope you enjoyed. You're thirsty? Who's thirsty? Oh, the laptop. I go hollow trying to figure out why I got 400 souls out of nowhere. Walked to their death. But what would have walked to their death? What drops 200 souls? I'm losing it because the crystal golems don't, the cats don't. Maybe the ents? Maybe the demonic foliage, I mean? Do they give 200? I'm pretty sure they do, right? What is the lore explanation? I'm sure there's something. That Sanctuary Guardian having us. That's so weird. Yeah. I'm gonna go get some food maybe. Um I don't know. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know.